Hi there, I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com, and this is my Smart American Accent training. In this video, we'll look at how to pronounce contractions with the verb to have. And we'll also talk a little bit about why you should try to use them and how helpful they are in having fluent speech in American English. So it's very typical for Americans to use contractions with the word have, simply because it's not the important word when it's a helping verb. So the times that I use contractions, like I've been busy, I've been going there for years, he's been having that problem, is when we have multiple verbs, right? So if I just say I have, yes, I have, I'm going to use the full verb have. I don't say yes, I've. We only contract when there's another verb coming. But I have been, we rarely will say I have been. The only time that we use have in that case is if we're stressing on it. For example, I have been busy. And that is what we do when we're typically contradicting someone. So if someone says to me, you haven't been busy, or you have not been busy, I might say, I have been busy, stressing on have. So then if I use that to say I've been busy, I have been busy, it doesn't sound as fluent, and it also may have a different meaning of being a little bit argumentative or showing that you disagree, and you don't want to send a message that you're not intending to send because you're using the full form of the verb. Many of my clients tell me that they're not always totally comfortable with contractions. They maybe were taught in school that they're informal or that they're more casual speech, or they're not confident with the grammar if they don't use the full form. So I recommend choosing one or two contractions to start with, practice using it, get comfortable with it, get comfortable with the grammar and what it means, because it is formal, it is professional, it is correct. We use them in writing sometimes, but we definitely almost 100% of the time use them in speaking. So let's get started with these to have contractions, help you know how to pronounce them, practice using them, and feel confident in fluent speaking with these contractions. So I have contracts to I've, and that's basically the I sound and the V sound, I've. So it's the I diphthong like in the contraction I. And then you'll notice for most of these contractions, really we don't say any vowel, and we just say the V sound. So we're taking the base word I and we're adding V. I've. Use it in a few places. That's what I've said. I've been doing that. And practice filling in the blank. So I like I've been blank because it's easy to fill in lots of words there. I've been busy, I've been happy, I've been good, I've been working, I've been hiking, I've been walking. You can get more comfortable and start to really feel and understand what the grammar is there for that version of I have. Same thing with you've. We just take the pronunciation of you and we add the v of have. It becomes you've. I've rewritten and respelled these for you here because I think often when people see this, what I hear them saying is something more like you have, like they still kind of, or you have, they just take have and they say it more quickly, but you really want to drop the h and the a of have and just use v, you've been, you've had a hard time, you've been great, you've been working hard. So getting comfortable with visualizing it this way and really knowing what the pronunciation of these contractions are, I think makes you more confident in using them as well. When it comes to he, she, it, and that, of course, we change to has because we don't say he have, we say he has. That's a conjugation of that verb. Same thing, though, that we just say the final sound, which is a z sound in has, not an s sound, not a s, but a z. And we drop the h and the a. So there's no h sound, no h sound, no a vowel, just the z sound. So I've rewritten that for you here. He's, just because with two e's, because we say that's a typical spelling for that vowel e. So he's been busy. He's been doing that well, he's had a hard time lately, etc. This is the same contraction we use for he is, so sometimes that's a little confusing because he is also becomes he's, but the rest of the grammar of the sentence will tell you which one it means, and the context will tell you which one it means. So same pronunciation, just get comfortable using he's rather than he has. In some cases, we actually can drop the H of the he's. I think he's had a hard time lately. You can check out my video for reduced initial H sound or my Sounds of English course to tell you when it's okay to drop that H. While you're practicing getting the contraction, you might want to just keep the H. It's always okay to say he's. You don't have to go to e's instead of he's, but just be aware that sometimes you'll hear that in fluent speech from native speakers. Then when we go to she has, same thing, becomes she's. She's been busy, she's had a hard time, she's had a good time, etc. Same, very similar to he's, just with the starting with the she as the pronoun. It has been busy, it's been hard, it's been going well. The pronunciation is fairly straightforward, just adding this to it. Just watch out that when you're writing this one, you want to make sure you use the apostrophe. So it's is going to be either it is or it has. We also have a spelling of its, and that's the possessive pronoun, like the elephant uses its trunk. So if you're wondering which one to write, think about it is or it has. If you're using the two words, then it's a contraction. We spell it this way. If you're talking about it's been, or it's being the possessive, the pen lost its cap, then you're using this one with no apostrophe. Great. And then we have becomes we've. Again, I've rewritten that for you here with just the sounds, w, e, and v, we've. We've been working on it. We've had to go online, etc. They've becomes, they have becomes they've. We just have the A and the V sound. So in all of these, it's consistently just the V sound for the contracted form of have. And then I included that has, even though that is not a pronoun, because we typically say that's been okay, that's had better days, etc. Again, when you're writing it, write the apostrophe. When you're thinking about how it sounds, it's just adding this sound to that's. So using repeated phrase practice, trying to put these into some sentences, and maybe even just choosing one or two, like starting with I've and use it when you're talking about yourself, maybe I've and that's or it's, ones that you commonly use so that you begin to feel more comfortable using contractions to sound more fluent. As I mentioned at the beginning, if you're struggling with the grammar there, translate in your head. Notice if you're saying I have been, and remind yourself that you can change that to I've been. Just try to start observing and listening for these contractions when you're listening to native speakers, and you'll see that they're used in all contexts, they're professional. So even if you feel a little bit like, oh, maybe my teacher told me that that's not formal English, it is used every day in formal and informal contexts. You can get more help for additional contractions that we use in our American Accent 6-week course and in my videos here on the channel for contractions. I hope you'll check those out, but just take it slow, a couple contractions at a time if you're trying to shift over to using these. You can also learn more about contractions and reduced sounds in our Reduced Sounds playlist and our Real Talk playlist. We have a Real Talk course on our website that's all focused on fluent speech, where we contract, where we reduce, how we link. That's really focused on helping you sound more fluent, speak more comfortably, naturally, and fluently in English. So I hope you'll check that out on our website, speechmodification.com. That's our Real Talk course. Thanks so much for being a part of this lesson. I hope you can practice on these and feel successful. Let me know if you have questions or comments or some other contractions you'd like to learn more about. You can leave that in the comments. I'll be back again soon with another video. You can check out what's coming up on the channel page. On our community page, we have some sneak previews, questions, polls, and things that you can interact with the channel. Thanks so much, and I look forward to seeing you next time. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com. Remember, if you want to sound like a native speaker, you can do it. speechmodification.com. Bye, everyone. Hope to see you again soon.